So for me, a religious studies approach is distinct from a theological approach. Um, some people would disagree with me on this, but that's where I draw the line. So with a religious studies approach, I'm trying to figure out and write about how religious people are doing things, usually historically, but sometimes I venture into things more ethnographically, or at least write about things more. No, start that sentence over. I may think about things ethnographically. I usually don't write about them ethnographically that often, but a lot of times I have a religious studies hat on when I'm dealing with people who are religious. So for me, a religious studies approach is a little more detached than a theological approach. A theological approach means thinking about religion from inside a religious tradition, where people are trying to extend that religious tradition and think about it in the present, in light of what I would call the rules of the theological game of that tradition. So there's usually certain ground rules that you have to follow if you're going to be considered to be operating as a faithful Mormon within the tradition or a faithful Catholic within the tradition. So there's certain kinds of rules to that game. There's other kinds of rules to the academic game. Sometimes they overlap, other times they're different. Usually in the academic game, one of the rules is that you don't act as if you think, or you don't write things as if you think that God is an active player in the history that you're writing about, or the scientific study of religion that you're proposing. In a theological game, you usually talk as if God is a player. So that's one of the big differences.